Hello again, viewers, friends, and anyone else that may be watching. Another week has gone by. So I shot a few portions of what was supposed to be on this vlog on what I did with my classes, like the 6, 7, 8s, but I want to kind of reshoot everything because this week was a bit different and there's different things to talk about. This week was parent-teacher conferences, there was a bit of a shake-up at the school, and one other thing. Oh yeah, and we had our first teacher-led professional development day. And I feel like those are a bit more interesting, and those don't happen every week, obviously, so I'm going to talk about those instead of my actual teaching in this vlog, and next week I'll just go back to what is supposed to be the regular format. And since it is actually now the weekend, I am not going to have this vlog shot in my school or any different changes of scenery, so I don't know if it's a little bit more boring that way, but that's just the way it goes. But I'm still going to have my neat little intros with the music because I really like making those.
And all we ever wanted was sunlight and honesty high.
Okay, so this week, it was a really weird week because a lot just piled up in this week. So let's start with something. There was a big shakeup in administration, and that's honestly probably all I will say about it, but the results have definitely impacted basically everyone at the school. A lot of people are just having to pick up a lot of work that they didn't have to before, and some of the teachers are trying to figure out how this might change our job a little bit. But like anything, it did kind of come out of nowhere, but you know, I'm pretty chill about it, kind of and some people are kind of a bit more anxious about it, but I feel like it's like anything. When we kind of know more about the situation, we'll kind of just figure out kind of what we have to deal with, and we'll be able to make decisions. But it's definitely changed the landscape of the school in the long run, and just the timing of it was just kind of funny in a way because it is parent-teacher conferences and everything like that, so everyone's already feeling kind of busy and possibly stressed about those. But actually, for my first full parent-teacher conference, just alone, it went very well. I think part of that has actually been the consistent communication I've been doing with the parents over the course of the term. I have learned that there are some families that I can definitely do better with that in, but overall I had a very pleasant time with the interviews, honestly. It was a long day, basically got to school, did the full day of teaching. Actually no, we ended early, but we taught, and then we had a little, I don't know, 2-3 hour break before we came back. It was kind of fun. I played basketball with some of the kids and just, well, you know, absolutely destroyed them, but no, they're good about it. It's really fun just to play with them sometimes. And then, you know, got back to the school, and actually one of my students ordered McDonald's for me in Arabic because I clearly haven't got to that level yet, but I'm getting there. And I got this really good thing in Jordan called the Big Tasty. And I think it's better than a Big Mac, and we don't have it in Canada, and I'm just so upset about that. But anyway, conferences went super well. All the parents were kind of super supportive of what I was saying, which was good, which made me feel like I'm paying close enough attention to each unique student's needs, and I'm able to obviously communicate that, and it's in line with what the parents are noticing, and we can collaboratively make strategies to help each student of mine reach their goals and improve on what they need to improve on. Some challenges obviously were that I'm in Jordan, so the parents obviously not a lot of their first language is English, and that wasn't all of them by any means, but it was definitely a challenge with that. We had to definitely utilize Google Translate, and I don't know, one parent had this voice translation thing which was kind of decent, but unfortunately the school wasn't able to provide any translators, which, you know, is fair. But we figured it out, I think. There are some parents that I definitely need to stay in touch with more regarding that and regarding their student, or regarding their child, I guess, sorry. But no, overall it went really well, and I liked it because it left me with a good mood. But it also left me with things that I know I could do better. It left me with ideas of how I can help each individual student more, which is really good. On the one hand though, it's a lot more work, but hey, no worthwhile task is easy, and that's especially true in teaching. Oh man, still got that sinus thing. I hate this. And then the other thing was the PD day. And it was kind of funny because myself, being a first year teacher, led one of the workshops, and then a coworker of mine, also a first year teacher, led the other workshop. And it was really cool, and it just emphasized what I love about education, that ideas are always changing, education is dynamic, so whether you're a beginner or whether you're like a 20-year vet, you still have something to learn. I did my workshop on something called design thinking, which I think is really cool and really challenging to implement in the classroom, but it can definitely be a worthwhile experience. And I got some great feedback from my colleagues. I think they all really liked it, and it was a great workshop. They were all engaged in the activities I did. Basically, design thinking is this process where it came out of business. Or no, I think it came out of engineering. I should know this. But anyway, it basically wasn't meant for education, but they took the concepts and put it in education. It's like a 5-phase thing. You empathize with the supposed user, which in this case is our students. Then you have to sort of define the problem, ideate solutions, build like a prototype to solve the problem, and then you test the prototype, you fail fast, and you go back and fix your mistake. And it's kind of like a cycle between this ideating, prototyping, testing, and then ideating, prototyping, testing again. So here's the actual thingy that I was trying to explain. And basically what I did, and I like this process because it really challenges the teacher's creativity, because it's hard to do. I have honestly never done a unit or anything with all 5 of the phases, but I'm working up to that. It's particularly challenging because the first phase is empathy, and empathy is something a teacher would always want to teach, but there's obviously no easy way to teach empathy. But this process kind of challenges you to do that. So basically I got my workshop idea from my university. We had these lovely librarians that gave us a really interesting activity that had to do with the 3 little pigs. So I basically just stole that because it's dope. It was just a sample of a type of lesson you could use in line with the empathize and ideate phase. So I don't know the story of the 3 little pigs, but there's also a book called The True Story of the 3 Little Pigs, which is from the perspective of the wolf. So it brings up these big concepts of like perspective, community, justice, or anything really else that your users or the students can kind of come up with. So basically the first phase, when you empathize with the wolf, you do like role-playing interviews. So someone's the wolf and someone's a social worker who's trying to understand why the wolf did what he did. And from this, you get a lot of huge concepts, and then you try to ideate, or no, you try to define what the problem is. Why did the wolf do what he did? Was it something about the society he was living in? Was it something about his living conditions? But basically, the participants they came up with, there's not enough infrastructure in the city where the wolf and the pigs live, or the wolf is living in substandard socioeconomic conditions. It's just really fun, and it brings up a lot of cool concepts in the classroom. And definitely, I don't think my explanation has done it justice, but I will certainly link down below a bunch of resources for design thinking, because I think it's such a cool process. If you can implement it, it's really challenging, but you can do it, and that's why I love teaching, because you can be so creative with everything. It just takes a lot of work. But basically, I'm in a good spot right now. I love what I'm doing. The holiday break is in almost 4 weeks. Not like I'm counting down or anything, but I'm really liking it. I'm really liking everything I'm learning, liking everything I'm doing. I love my coworkers. I'm just having such a good time here, and I'm really happy that I can share it on this vlog. Next week, I will definitely get into what I'm teaching, but until then, thank you for watching.